I went to church last Sunday so I could sing and pray, but something quite unusual happened on that day. The church, it started right on time, just like it does without a doubt. And everything was all just fine, except when it came time to let us out. You know, the preacher, he kept preaching. He told us, I have one more thing to say. Children, before you think of leaving, you better think about the judgment day. Everyone got nervous, because everyone was hungry too. Everyone was wondering what was the next thing he would do. And the preacher kept preaching. He said, now I remind you, if I may, you all better pay attention, or I might decide to preach all day. Everyone was getting so hungry. The old one started feeling ill, and the weak ones started passing out. And the young ones, they could not sit still, and the preacher's voice rose high. So I snuck up to the balcony and I crept into the choir. And I begged them, brothers, sisters, help me please. I said, when I give you a signal, I said, when I raise up my hands, won't you please join with me today? Praise the Lord, I have a plan. And the preacher kept preaching. Long is the struggle, hard to fight. And I prayed, Father, please forgive me. And then I stood up and with all my might I sang.
Good morning, Jack.
Morning, David.
Not a medal.
That was a good shot down there, I think.
We sure hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jack Reed, and I'm going to be your humble narrator for tonight's documentary.
Don't pray for me.
These floating, ninja-like shots were thanks, in great part, to the GoPro camera I got for Christmas. With this setup, people didn't even know they were on camera. It was like I was invisible. There were lots of activities that the campers could participate in, which were likely shown in Phil's video. Some of the campers ventured out into the glories of nature so they could see it firsthand through the screen of their iPad or smartphone. Several of our guys captured some great shots, but one guy in particular always manages to have a consistent theme to his work. But on the first day, I chose to go to Santa Elena Canyon with several other vagabonds.
Like that.
Sometimes a fella just feels like jogging.
And he said they had money or drugs, but they always had guns.
Kind of like the St. John's group.
And they found one guy that got turned around Yeah.
Jack, will you grab that rock for me right there?
What'd you say?
Will you grab that rock for me right there?
Oh, yeah, right.
There you go. That's being stuck between a rock and a hard place right there.
Good, David. I like commentary on our documentaries.
It's time for dinner now, let's go. We got some beans and some good cornbread. Now listen to what the preacher says. To the Lord, let praises be.
At least it's cooler in here. Hey!
It's time for dinner now, let's go.
Wow, the water does look like it's
It's like a
sloping downward. How wild.
illusion. That is so cool.
Nothing wrong with my hip. But it wasn't.
Hey, Bill,
Yo.
with these kind of acoustics, will you tell us again how Arch snored?
I can't do it. I don't know. Is this the end of the trail?
No,
Trail goes on and on.
on and on.
Through the Rio Grande now, guys. Come on.
I don't think it goes on. I don't think it does. I think there's an end to a trail.
It must say that though, Mark.
Or this might be it.
Where do we climb? Where's the step?
Where's the rappelling ropes? Did you bring a hook?
Give me a boost. This is a snake fossil. It's a massive snake fossil. It's called the Snakerosaurus. And it has fangs that were right here. There's little eyeballs were right here. Actually, they're big eyeballs. Big eyeball. And it fell on him and it smashed him. And it made a fossil.
Wow.
Snakerosaurus.
Snakerosaurus, was it?
Uh-huh.
Man. Good find.
Man, he's so well read.
Oh, it
I
kind
never
of more
would've
like a
seen
dinosaur.
There goes that video.
Oh, he's running.
Oh, yeah.
That has to be edited out.
I can't believe you talk like that.
You know, those are the words that ensure whatever you said stay in. Oh, that has to be edited out. A dinosaur.
Oh, take two.
They told me to say it.
As we hiked out of the canyon, my mind started thinking ahead to the next activity coming up for me. And a song started playing in my brain. Very faintly at first, but the more I thought, the louder it got.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
It turns out a plan had been suggested well before we left. That I trailer my Vespa out on this trip. Our campouts heretofore had been the domain of what some would call the big boy bikes. But the idea of including my Vespa had been made by someone who is probably the soundest of minds.
Mr. Reed.
So I said okay.
I'm gonna try.
On my first test drive, with safety being my chief concern, I got the hang of it pretty quickly. I had Mr. Hall riding along as chaperone to make sure I was okay.
Head out on the highway, we're looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way.
But once I got rid of Mother Hall, I decided to see what the Vespa could do up in the mountains. Up at the lodge, I immediately felt the admiration and respect that true bikers offer each other. I had told the guys that my best speed would probably be around 40 miles an hour. But when no one was watching, I let those Italian horses run. It was time
Here
to
comes
ride
Hell's
with the
Angels.
pack.
There's the #1 fan.
We planned to ride to Boquillas Canyon at the other end of the park. A 60-mile round trip.
Leader of the pack.
Say that again?
You outrun them?
Yeah, I'm afraid I did. They'll be along in a bit.
That's that third gear, right?
I literally just put it in neutral and just coasted down. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
This is one of my Vespa's proudest moments.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Absolutely.
Get to run with the big kids. The big dogs. Ready? What's our next stop?
Once he said that, I thought,
Boquillas Canyon.
Going all the way.
Canyon kind of guy.
I am. I'm feeling canyony today.
See ya.
It's really going to a lot of trouble making a mess.
Sure.
I just put $2 in.
That's good. Right here and talk
I mean, we
about
just
it.
backed it off a lot.
It's just not the same.
Not the same.
Bill Clinton told me that.
Anyway.
He had a point.
Yeah. Started getting stuff ready for appetizers and stuff like that.
Well,
We're
gonna be-
already 30, 45 minutes into it.
well, we made it to the gas station. Joe, why don't you lead out and take us to Boquillas?
Okay.
Yeah. And then Jack, and then me, and then David, and then Bill.
Yeah. And that way,
The guys told me it was a biker tradition that the coolest bike always parked around the corner. I felt very proud.
You have to go pro on the way out.
Sure.
Nos dejamos hace tiempo, pero se llegó el momento de perder. Tú tenías mucha razón, te hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver.
volver, volver, volver a tus brazos otra vez.
When we left Boquillas Canyon, I let the guys chase me all the way back to camp. All in all, Big Bend 2014 was another great St. John's men's campout.
Pero se llegó el momento de perder. Tú tenías mucha razón, le hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver. Y volver, volver, volver a tus brazos otra vez. Llegaré hasta donde estés, yo sé perder, yo sé perder.